Good morning, my beautiful friends. I am chatting with you on my jetty again this morning because it's a Saturday morning. There might be a little bit of traffic on the water. You might hear a little bit of noise behind me. Not too bad. I got my mic on, but it will be quieter than my household. The kids had some friends over. Yesterday's a public holiday. Had some friends over. I don't actually know who's even there, but I didn't want to chance people coming up and interrupting me. So I thought I'll come down here where it's peaceful to have a chat with you guys. And one thing I'm going to talk about in today's episode on like your soul talents or your divine talents is your human design. I've got a book here I'm going to share with you. And in my human design, I'm a responding generator. That means I respond to things. Something will come to me, somebody will say something, I'll see signs, I will have people text me and say, you should do this. And if I notice it a few times, I go, okay, I'll respond to that. And a generator is my type, that I light people up and I generate light and energy within people and in myself. So I respond to things. So how this episode came to me is, this has come up for me a few times throughout the week, and I pulled a card on it this morning and I'm like, all right, I need to have a bit of a chat with you guys about this. And also, this is why I can't record in a podcast studio, okay? So when I started to understand about my type, because I remember a business coach spoke to me about human design years ago, and I thought everything, what's wrong with me? I can't structure and plan everything all the time. I get frustrated by it. I don't want to schedule my social media content for a month. It just like does my head in. I am more of a go with the flow type person. When I understood my human design and I understood there's nothing wrong with me, this is how I operate and this is how I flow. This is how I step into my zone of genius for what is right for me. So for me, I couldn't go and record in a podcast studio and have everything mapped out. That just makes me feel sick, overwhelmed, would do my head in trying to think of stuff. Whereas I'm very spontaneous. If something comes to me, like right now, it's a Saturday morning. This is why I don't like having work hours too. I just want to work when I want to work and play when I want to play. And this kind of all come about this morning, that I just grab my tripod, grab my phone, like that's seriously all I need, because this is just soul conversations, right? And I run down and I sit and I chat with you guys and I capture it in the moment and I record it. And so I'm telling you that because, as you see, as I'll go through this episode, we're all designed uniquely differently. We all have different makeups. We all have different energy. We all have different ways of doing things that align for us. And when I discovered so much I've discovered about myself these last couple of years from doing the inner work, and I started to honor the way that I operate, I found a newfound confidence, a newfound it's almost like it took the pressure off, the expectations off, that I had to do things like everybody else. And I felt I could finally just breathe and show up and be myself and not have to try and compare myself anymore, not try and keep up, not try and fit in, not try and do things that are trends. Do what feels right for me, and I feel so incredibly free. And that's what I want for you. And that's why what I'm going to share in today's episode is going to help. My intention is to help you find that freedom for you, find that soul talent for you, and not just a talent. We have many soul talents, and find what aligns for you in the process of self-discovery. If you hang around me long enough through my classes, through my women's circles, come and work with me one-on-one on retreat, listen to the podcast, and I'm launching a course very, very soon. I've been working on it for a little while, around return to authenticity, because I believe when you return to the roots of your authenticity, and I'm going to teach you so many tools that have helped me over the years in this 6-week course, that is when you will open yourself up to manifest, to create, to live in alignment. And it's all about living in alignment with your soul, shifting from ego to soul, because we get conditioned, we get programmed, we have limiting beliefs of what we're meant to do, how we're supposed to show up, the way we're supposed to do things, the way we were brought up, doing what everybody else does, worried about fitting in and what people think. When you let go of all of that, and it's not just like whoof, letting it go, I wish it was, and I'm going to teach you tools in this program how to let things go. But it's a process of working through it, working through your blocks, working through your limiting beliefs, your barriers, your thoughts, having awareness around how you think, having awareness around how you've been conditioned. And hence week 1 of my program is all around awareness. And because I've set it out in this angels framework. So like week 1 is awareness. Week 2 is nourishment, teaching you how to nourish your body, mind, and soul. Week 3 is about guidance. Like week 4 is about energetics. So understanding the guidance, the divine power, the spiritual. Week 5 is around love. L is all around love, loving on yourself, loving on nature, loving on other people, seeing yourself through the eyes of love, seeing the world through the eyes of love, accepting that when you get more connected to your heart over your ego, which again is all around love, things will line up for you. And the last week, S, is on surrender, surrendering it over to the universe, surrendering to a bigger divine plan, surrendering to, there are things out there out of our control. And when we let go and try not to control everything and surrender to the process, that is when doors will open up for you, opportunities will open up for you. And it was even like yesterday, I was out on the ski. So we did a big lap around Stratty yesterday. We kind of ski out here, go out through the jumping pin, out through the waves, and ski all the way 21 kilometers down South Stratty. Went in, did a swim at Wave Break Island, and skied all the way back up. Few hours of bliss. So we're skiing out in the ocean, right? Like, so we're half a K off the beach, off the shore of South Stratty. We literally see no one. When we kind of got closer to the Gold Coast Seaway down near the Spit, we saw 2 jet skiers out there, but you literally see no one. So it's a process. When I'm out there, I trust I'm protected, I trust I'm guided, and I surrender. And I love seeing dolphins, right? I love seeing them swim past my jetty. I've just always been drawn to dolphins. I love seeing them out in the wild. And yesterday I found myself looking for dolphins, looking around going, where are they? And I would notice it, right? Having awareness. I'm like, you're doing it again. You're looking, you're trying to find dolphins. Stop looking, just enjoy the moment. And so I go, okay. And then I sit here, I'd take in the sunshine, I'd take in the beautiful waves. I'd look at where we were out in the middle of nowhere, go, this is so divinely peaceful and beautiful. Then I'd find myself looking again. I'm looking for the dolphins. Where are they? They've got to be out here. Come on, universe. I've asked you for them. Bring them to me. What the hell? Why aren't they here yet? And then I thought to myself, for God's sake, just surrender. You know how to do this. Just surrender and accept that it doesn't have to be you. You don't have to see the dolphins, right? We're out with, I was on the ski with Tom. We're out with one of our friends, Cobus, and I said to myself, they could find them and just go, look, Lise, there's dolphins. Like, you don't have to do the work. You don't have to control everything. You don't have to look for everything. Just surrender, ask for it, and just surrender. And I went, yep. You're right. I'm giving myself like a pep talk in my head as we're driving down, skiing down. And I went, yep, I'll just surrender. I'm just going to take it all in, and whatever's meant to be. If I'll see them, I'll see them. If I don't, I don't. Literally within a couple of minutes, my friend yells out like, Lise, and he's pointing down the water. He was skiing up ahead, and we stop, and there's dolphins in front of us. I'm like, thank you, universe. I know this stuff. I teach this stuff, but I still get caught up in the trying to control and the trying to look and trying so hard to bring things in, as opposed to surrendering. So there's a lesson in that for me and for you, is to just in little situations is exactly the same as how it plays out in big situations, right? And so I wanted to share that with you before we kind of dive into today's episode, which is all around soul talents. Okay, I believe that we have talents, gifts, creative genius, things that we love, things that light us up, things that our soul has come here to do, ways that we can help ourselves, help humanity, help other people, and they can bring us abundance. We can make money from them. They can bring us joy. We can serve from them. We can give from them. We can help from them. And it's so vastly different and unique for every single one of us. Sometimes we get caught up in the soul talent or our purpose or our fulfillment has to be this big grandiose thing, like this big grand thing, like, you know, I have to go and feed the homeless, or I have to do something that serves so many people, or it's not a soul talent unless it's giving so much of ourselves, or unless it's making us money, or unless it's something like, you know, you look at other people, right? You look at other people and go, oh my gosh, they're so talented. I wish I was that creative. Or, you know, look, they do these things so effortlessly. I wish I could do that. Or they make so much money doing this, you know, like they're so talented, or they're so smart. Or we look at other people and we put this kind of perspective, or this, we kind of feel like our soul talent or our divine talent has to be this like enormous thing. And I'm telling you, let go of that and just think into sacred simplicity, okay? So when I go through this episode with you today, think about little things. Think about simplicity, and get out of your head around what other people do and what is expected of you. And I want you to just take it all in with an open mind and an open heart, and just a bigger perspective of, because we look at talents as talented athletes, talented movie people, talented doctors, or people, talented builders, architects, like these, we get conditioned on these labels, these titles, these job roles that are big, right? Like they are so huge that we think it's outside of us and we can never achieve anything like that. You know, artists, painters, creatives, and we think that that has to be a talent. Whereas I want to tell you, your talent can lie in simple things, and there's no right or wrong talent, better than, bigger than talent. Like we've all got certain unique talents that show up in the way of what we enjoy, what we could maybe, and you can journal on this, okay? So you could journal on, what do I love doing? What could I spend hours doing that the time just passes and I don't even notice the time? What lights me up that I really feel fulfilled, I feel nourished? It could be simple things like gardening. It could be simple things like cooking. It could be helping people in your family, helping a neighbor, helping do something for people. It can be, you know, like your creative work when you switch off. You come home from work and then you switch off doing something you love. Journal on all those things that light you up, that bring you joy, that you could do for hours. Maybe reflect back to, because now you might find you've been so layered with conditions. Kira's sitting right in front of me in the camera. You can be so layered with conditions, with expectations around what you're doing for work now, and you think it's what you're meant to be doing, but you don't feel happy, you don't feel nourished, you don't feel fulfilled, you feel like it's a chore, you feel like there's parts of it that you love, which is a breadcrumb of what you are meant to be doing, but there's parts of it that you hate. Maybe you hate all of it. But we get conditioned to, maybe you're doing it because your family taught you when you were younger, go to school, go to uni, get a good education, get a good job. And you might be in a job that's paying you a shit ton of money, but you're not happy. You might be in a job that you're just doing that really gives you no sense of satisfaction, but it might be filling a void right now because your purpose is being a mum and being there for your family. So this works in with your family because your focus right now might be raising your family, and this job provides you balance. It might provide you flexibility. It might allow you to work around your kids because your purpose right now is to raise your kids, and that is okay too. I'm not saying we have to do what we love for our whole entire life, and we're going to love every single thing that we do, and it's going to light us up and bring us purpose and bring us fulfillment all the time. No, there's going to be things that you are doing, but I want you to look at, what I was going to say is doing that maybe you don't love at the moment, but I want you to look at it as you're learning something along the way. Maybe it's showing you what you don't like, the contrast, right? So you know what you do like, and it's helping you because you've been so conditioned of expectations, what people think you should be doing or what you put on yourself that you should be doing. But then you do it and you go, I don't actually even like this. Like, this is a good thing because it shows you the contrast of what you don't want, which helps you identify what you do want. So don't judge where you are now. Don't beat yourself up for where you are now. Don't feel shameful or guilty or bad for where you are now. Wherever you are right now is fine. It's perfect. It's where you're meant to be, but it's going to help you, guide you on the path for where you could go. Maybe what you're meant to be doing, what is a bigger purpose or a bigger calling for you. But look at the little breadcrumbs, journal and write down, what do I love doing? What could I do for hours? What did I love doing as a kid? And then maybe over the years you had this joy of what you loved doing as a kid, and then it got programmed out of you, or you lost your way and you're doing things out of expectations, maybe around people that you're hanging around, relationships you've fallen into. But if you were to look back at what you actually did love, journal on that. What could I spend hours doing that really lit me up? Because there's a lot of messages, there's a lot of value in looking at past experience. Don't go back there, but learn from it, and maybe just start journaling on what lit me up, what I loved, what I could spend hours doing, where I feel I'm creative. So what I did the other day, actually before I go into that, I remember back, if I was to look back at my path, I left school. I love travel, like absolutely love travel. I thought I wanted to work in travel. It turns out I don't want to work in travel. I just wanted to travel. And so like I went to Lorraine Martin College where they guarantee you a job, and I did all my study in travel, being a travel agent. Then I did work experience in it and went, this sucks. Like, I don't want to be sitting in a desk like doing that. I actually want to be traveling. So anyway, I learned something from that, and the job that they guarantee you job, I landed a job in a bank. So I was in a bank. I was 18 and I ended up, by about 20, I was the branch supervisor. Then I kind of went into an admin type role. But when I was in banking, right, it taught me to be a leader. So it taught me customer service, it taught me dealing with people. And I, at 20, like at a young age, was the branch supervisor. So it taught me how to be a leader. So if I look back and go, okay, I learned from that. I went into, I had my kid. Before that, I was working in admin, because my dad's friend owned a big electrical company, and I was just sick of the bank, and he said, hey, do you want to come and work for me? And he offered me more money. It was, I loved it. It was really, really great, and I really enjoyed it. And I look back and I go, that kind of helped branch Tom in from, because he was in commercial aircon, like he was studying, he was a leader too, and like did his apprenticeship and was running the Gold Coast division for QBuild at the time when we got married. He ended up going and working in this company as electrical, and he did his electrical apprenticeship along the way. So maybe I was meant to be there to help bridge Tom into that gap. Anyway, I don't know, but I enjoyed it, and it filled a gap for me when it was good for me when I had my babies and was raising kids. I would do it part-time, and then I ended up going into raising the kids full-time and was just stay-at-home mum, which I loved. And that was my purpose for a while. I freaking loved it. It lit me up. It brought me so much joy. And then I joined the gym, and I loved fitness. I was like working out all the time. I loved it. People would ask me advice at the gym on different things, and I really enjoyed that. And I was just kind of playing with that, enjoying it, loving life while I was raising the kids and just working. Then I was doing some admin work from home. And when I also did a little stint of network marketing. We were in Amway for a while, and I look back and I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do, but it taught me the greatest gift. It taught me the love of personal development. It taught me to get out of my comfort zone, because we progressed. I had to get up and speak on stage, and all these kind of things got me so far out of my comfort zone. There was so much growth in that, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. But it taught me personal development. I learned to love reading, and then I started going into more spiritual books. And like I remember when I was back then, I was reading Think and Grow Rich. I'm like, this book is amazing. Everyone reads this book. Everyone should read this book. And then I remember thinking about all the personal development I was doing. I'm like, Tom, everyone should be doing personal development. It's improving our relationship. It's improving our family life. It's making me grow in confidence. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. And I fell in love with it. So if I was to look back, then I did my PT course, right? Did my PT course, you know the rest of the story, got into health and really studied health and fitness, opened the studio. But if I was to look back, there were little breadcrumbs along the way, and I learnt bits from every single part of that journey. And my purpose was different in different stages as I was learning and growing as a young woman in that maiden years. Then as I was going into the motherhood journey, and my role for a purpose and for a long time, and it still is now, was to be the caregiver, was to be the, to support and raise my children. I love that. It lit me up. But if I look back, there were little bits along the way that I learned that steered me in the direction of where I am now. So don't be hard on yourself for where you are. Don't look back with regret on anything. Everything is a lesson. Everything is an experience. So maybe you can write down in your journal, what have I learned along the way, and what have I taken out from all of these past experiences that I've done? Because I knew they weren't my purpose. I knew they weren't what I was meant to do. But I grew in the process of doing these things. So there's growth in everything that you do. So maybe journal on what growth and lessons and experience have helped form who you are right now. It could be difficult things that you've been through, and they could be your purpose. You might have gone through a really traumatic journey in your younger years, and that can fuel you to what you're meant to be doing moving forward to help other people. So when you grow, you learn about yourself, you invest time and energy and effort into learning and having awareness about yourself and really deep diving into discover more about yourself, you can then help others. So your pain might help you in the future. Your pain or trauma might help you with what you're meant to do for other people. But now you might just be figuring yourself out, and that is okay. You don't need to know what the future needs to hold, where it's going to take you. I don't know, you don't know. Just like in that last episode I spoke around with Brock's Hollywood kind of opportunity or what's happening with him, we don't know. But just know there's growth in every moment and every opportunity, right? So maybe journal on that, on what you've learned in the past. And then if I look back at everything, I go, that's formed who I am now, and it's helped shape me for where I am now. And I'm grateful for those experiences, and I'm grateful for where I'm sitting at now. When I dove into more self-discovery and I've read more books, listened to more podcasts, did more journaling, learned a lot more about myself, went on retreats and spent so much time learning about myself, I started to discover what I'm meant to do and what lights me up. And I was still nervous to do it, still nervous to put it out there, because who am I to do these things? Who am I to be a leader? We have doubts, right? We have fears, we have all of these insecurities. Keep working through them. Keep working through them, keep growing, keep learning, keep evolving, because I don't believe we're just going to get there. I don't believe we're just going to hit a target and hit a place and hit a goal. I believe in growth and evolution over a lifetime, because nothing stays stagnant. We're always growing and changing, and things change around us all the time, okay? So, but my point with all of that is when you learn about yourself, you will discover more of your soul talents. So what I did the other day, I was journaling. I don't know why, I just had this urge to pull out my journal, and I think it was prompted in a card that I read. And I want to share this little bit with you. I've got a couple of tools here to share with you today. And I headed it up. This was all around the new moon, actually. And if I was to look back, this was all around, I was just reflecting on a lot of things, where I'm at, what I want to do moving forward. And I went, you know what? I actually need to stop and acknowledge how far I've come and write down my soul talents. This is what come up for me, and I'm going to be really raw and honest and share them with you, because even some of them, with me sharing them with you, is quite vulnerable, and it's quite, you still have that imposter syndrome and go, I'm not that good, you know, but it's a talent that I'm developing. It's a talent that I'm learning, but I know it lies deep within me, right? And I wrote down my soul talents, my voice. And if I look back a few years ago when I started getting on camera and I started doing lives, my voice would be croaky. I'd like constantly be clearing my throat, and I had to work through some things to, I guess, heal and feel that I'm worthy enough of using my voice and sharing. And now I do. And I don't get all of that blockage in my throat chakra anymore like I did years ago. So I can honestly say this now, and I can write it down and go, my soul talent, one of my soul talents is my voice. The power to lead and teach and share, to podcast, to coach, to lead in class, to speak from the heart, to share powerful perspective, wisdom. As I was writing this, an eagle was soaring overhead. So I got a note in my journal. See, there's an eagle soaring overhead. Confidence to speak the truth, to stand up in front of people, to speak on the spot without notes. Like even now with me doing this podcast, I don't need notes, and my podcasts are better when I don't have notes. I used to have notes. I don't anymore because I've learned to trust myself. So I've learned that, hang on, this is one of my talents. And I used to look at my dad. My dad could get up and speak in front of people and speak on stage because he's in the Hall of Fame, and he would always talk and get asked to talk. And anyway, he would get up and he would speak without notes. I'm like, everyone jokes around about Tony being such a speaker. If you've met him in class, you know that. And I'm the same. It's like passed through the lineage, and my daughter is the same. She's a natural speaker, great with people, connector. And so for me, I now feel this is one of my talents because I've gone, hang on a sec, I can get on and speak, I can get up on stage and speak, I can hold a room, I can lead a women's circle, I can do all these things, and I can inspire with my voice. And how do I know that? Because the feedback I get from you guys and the testimonials and the things that I hear all the time. So that was one of mine. My intuitive movement. Again, I teach people to connect with themselves. I've had to learn to do it myself first. I teach them to connect with their bodies, to read. One of my talents is reading the energy in the room and changing my class on the spot and bringing the movement intuitively into my class. And create an intuitive class on the spot. Girls, the amount of classes I've rock up and I haven't even planned it, I feel into, they're my best classes. And at first I couldn't do that. Again, had notes, had class plans. Now I'm like, often I will rock up and it will flow through me as I'm coming. And I get people go, that class was amazing. I'm like, if you only knew I didn't have any plan when I started, it just come to me. I channel messages from source. I'm an open channel of communication from the divine to me and to my loved ones and my community. And it openly, things pour through to me. Again, like I channel podcast episodes, I channel speaking, writing, it just comes through and I share it. I'm an empath. I feel other people's emotions. I've had to learn how to have energetic boundaries around that too, but that's one of my talents. I'm an empath. I feel so much. My clairvoyance, I'm starting to see future events. I'm learning to trust and strengthen in this, and I've spoken about that in some episodes. That I've seen things, I've predicted things, they've come through, some big things. A lot of things I haven't even shared. My knowing, I trust my gut, my inner knowing about people, situations, what happens to people. Like I can read their mind and feel their energy. I talk to people in all the time, just all the time. Retreats, classes, being with people, and I feel things. I get an inkling, I get a knowing, and I've now had the courage, because I used to feel things and pick up on things, and I would hold back of fear of, what if I offend people? What if I can't say that? What if that's not true? What if? And now I just say it. And I'll say things and people go, how did you know that? Like, I haven't told anyone that. How did you know that? And I've learned to trust that. And I know now that's one of my intuitive gifts. All these gifts that I'm telling you, right? You've got them too. You just have to develop them a bit more, or you might be in the process of developing, or I'm going to help you with my course to develop them. But we've all got this natural ability, right? But some have stronger strengths than others in different areas. We've all got strengths in different areas. I'm a natural connector. I just connect people all the time. I'm in my community. Someone will come in looking for someone. I'm like, oh, hey, and I'll think of someone. I want to help people. I want to refer people. In the community forum, you probably see me sharing recommendations for other people all the time, because I naturally want to help other people, connect them to someone who I know can help them. So I'm just a natural connector. My dad's like that too. Hence why he walks around with my brochures and hands them out to people, because he knows what I offer is amazing and he wants to help and connect people with people that can help. He's always done that. And we've learned along our way through our childhood, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? So my desire to help people, I spoke about that. My healing hands, like people feel energy in my hands in class. I use them a lot on retreat. I've learned I feel energy in my hands, and I'm learning to open that up a lot more. And if I look back to a reading that I had done, like one of those printouts, what is it, like your I can't remember what it's called, but it was like at a Body Mind Soul Expo I went 2 years ago, and I went and got a reading done, and they printed out this kind of booklet. Back then, when I just started my PT, it said in there my gifts were my healing hands, my energy in my hands. I need to do some kind of Reiki or healing and yoga. And if I look back, right, when I was reading it, I'm like, that's so far off the charts, it's not funny. But now I'm like, it's all coming true and I'm doing all of these things. But well over 10 years ago, I didn't believe it. But part of my talents is the healing in my hands. And it can just be from placing my hands on people's heart and just sending them love. Another one that's coming through is light language. I'm still learning it and I'm feeling into it, but it just feels so beautiful when I use my hands. And I feel like this, I use my hands with this light language. And if I won't go into all of that now, but it's like language of the soul. And I use it all the time in class and I just feel it pour through my soul. And like I wrote here, I'm still learning it. It just feels, my hands move and have a mind of their own, and they move, they make shapes, they make signs, they dance, they receive, they transmit energy, and it just feels good. Don't know where that's going, but I'm learning it. My perspective, I see things differently. I see people, perspective, I see things, people, opportunities, circumstances differently to most of the world, and it's like I see it through the lens of God, source, lessons, and experiences. It's just something I just do. My powerful visualization journeys, I go through them myself, my meditations, I receive them, and then I speak them out in class. Again, they come through intuitively, and I give them to my community in women's circles, retreats. I do want to put these online to sell them too, because so many people have said, your meditations are so powerful. You need to record them and sell them. So I'm like, okay, I'll bank that. That's something I still need to do. But I've learned that this is one of my talents, okay? I also wrote down interpreting signs, like seeing signs. I see powerful coincidences that you just can't make up. Again, we've all got this ability. I'm creative, and this was a big one for me to write down because I never felt creative. I never felt like I was a talented artist or I had this talent. I'd look at other people who were creative and think I'm not creative. And then I started to go, hang on, I am creative. I channel ideas, I implement them into my reality. I write, I share. I'm great at writing. I'm creative at putting things together, putting classes together, putting programs together, putting challenges together, putting women's circles together, putting retreats together. I'm doing all of this on my own, and I'm just trusting the guidance that comes through. My courage, it's not really a soul talent, something I've developed, but I wrote down my courage to share my gifts with the world and teach others how to awaken them. That's more of my passion that I love doing. And manifesting, my visions become my reality. I'm a powerful manifester and I'm a powerful co-creator. I wrote all that down. So this is what I would love you to do. On another page, write down your soul talents. And even if you write it down like I used to with the creative, and I would think, who am I to be creative? I'm not as creative as other people. Look at ways that you are creative, okay? So even write down, I am creative when I write down the things that you're creative. It could be cooking, like I'm creative with my cooking. That's what I mean. It doesn't have to be big things, simple things. How are you creative? It might be styling clothes, putting outfits together, helping other people, seeing like they're, styling other people. Cooking, you might just love cooking. I've had people that are so beautiful at cooking and they bring me things into the studio. So what are you creative at doing? What do you love doing that you could do it for hours on end? Write it down and just ask yourself the question. Get out of your ego mind that says, I'm not good enough. Who am I to write down that I'm a creative? We're all creative in some way, shape or form. My husband's creative with his hands, that sounds really bad. My husband's creative, he's a builder. Like he's in the building industry. He can build stuff. He can put things together. He can solve problems. I see like Riley's so great at what she does in her own unique way. She's a very powerful, creative person. She gets shit done. She's productive when she wants to be, not at home. But she has a way of like organizing things. She's such a good organizer. She's a good leader. She's creative in that way. Like Brock, if I look at him and I go, he's an entertainer. This kid is so funny and quick-witted, and he has so much courage and confidence, and he lights up people around him, yet he's such a beautiful, humble soul. He's creative in his own unique way. He, just like you see it in your own kids. What do you see in other people? What you see in other people, I want you to see in yourself. Look at your family members. Look at your friends who you think they're creative. They have this talent. You have it too. You just haven't seen it yet, or you're starting to develop it, or you're starting to become aware of it. Write down, what are my soul talents? What am I creative in? And just write it down. If it comes to you, you might think, who am I to write that? I can't write that. I'm not good enough. Yes, you are. Write it down, okay? Now I want to share this card that I pulled this morning, which prompted me to come and record this episode, okay? You are a talented soul. I might read a fair bit of this because it's really important. You're a talented soul, and over many lifetimes, you've developed your spiritual abilities to channel higher awareness, to attract healing energy, and radiate light to uplift the consciousness and those around you. So how do you uplift people around you? That can be part of your creative talent. Your divine talents are many and are uniquely expressed through you. Just you, my friend. So write down about you. Your talents do not have to resemble those of another, or hang on, the sun's in my eye, right in my eyes. Your talents do not have to resemble those of another to have their own inestimable value. Do not be afraid to use them. Don't compare yours to other people. Don't value yours compared to other people's. Just write them down or feel into them if you're driving, okay? Divine talents are a way in which the universe reminds us of what we're here to do. They're unlimited. They include the ability to channel spiritual guidance and healing energy, to perceive clairvoyantly and psychic and empathic. This is what I said I started feeling into for me. You might feel that for you. You might not. That's okay. Other spiritual talents are the ability to release earthbound spirits, earth healing techniques such as working with energy, crystals, blah, blah, blah. I feel all this for me. Listen to this. There are other spiritual talents too. These include writing, performing, sound healing, dancing to awaken awareness, creating art, photography, divinely inspired tools, jewelry, cooking, foods that heal the body, and spirit is a spiritual talent, as are the abilities to bring people together, to offer comfort, to inspire, use inspiring words at the right time, to help people overcome fears and feel more at peace in moments of importance. Your talent could be in working in the corporate world. It could be your role as a healer. It could be in your role as a stay-at-home parent to help raise more consciousness, to secure and empower your children in a world that is desperately in need of strong, spiritually grounded leaders for the future. You might be here to help inspire your children to step into their talents, okay? You can use your talents to create a vocation that truly inspires you and brings joy to the world and light to the world. You can use them in the line at the grocery store. The point is that you use them. That happens to me all the time. That's why my kids don't come shopping with me. I randomly talk to people and I just find, I don't know, people open up to me. This might happen to you too. You might be one of those people that people just open up and they share things with you. So that could be a talent, that people feel safe around you and you can be there and help people by listening, and that can be such a healing, beautiful gift for people. This oracle comes to you with a message. You have spiritual talents, some of which have been developed in other lifetimes and will simply and suddenly spark or bring back to life as if from out of the blue this lifetime. Others need more attention, patience, and effort to be brought into the world. This is particularly the case for you at this time if you have also drawn it talks about past life activation. So there's something I want to share with you here, okay? It says sometimes there is fear in sharing your talents. You may have a subconscious or a very conscious past life recollection that involves shame, isolation, ridicule, fear, or even torture or death as a response to you sharing your talents for healing and helping others. So what happened to me, this may or may not relate. You may think I'm like really off the charts woo here, but I'm just going to share anyway. I remember in a meditation, this has come up for me quite a few times, where I felt in a past life I was, let's just use the word, like a good witch, like a healer, like I had this healing ability. I had visions of this would come through, and I felt that I was, this is what I saw. I cannot explain it, okay? I cannot help what come through, but I felt like I was burnt at the stake. I lost someone close to me. I feel it was Riley in this past life, for being weird, woo, uniquely different, and for having these abilities. And I felt I suffered the death penalty as a result of that. I just saw like a vision of people around me, like that I got so afraid in this lifetime, because in this vision I saw myself being burnt at the stake. People around me like was almost like mocking you, shaming you, not like throwing rocks at you, but you know what I mean? You know, like back to those old school movies or those really olden times where people were condemned. And I felt that happen to me in a past life. So I feel I've hidden a lot of my talents and a lot of these abilities because I've shared with you in this podcast this fear of being different, this fear of being weird, this fear of what will people think that I can channel, I can have clairvoyance, I can have psychic medium abilities. People think you're weird. But I believe we are in a time where people are opening up to this and they wish they had those abilities, and we all have them in our own unique way. And so I've hidden so much of myself out of fear of being not burned at the stake these days, right? And this is what I've had to teach myself and what I've had to heal is we live in a time of safety. We're not going to be condemned. We're not going to be burned at the stake. Nothing like that is going to happen to us. But how do we get it these days is through social media, through worrying about what people think, through fear of being different, through what will people think and say on social media. We get scared to put ourselves out for shame, for fear, for guilt, for embarrassment, for not having courage in ourselves, for belittling ourselves or feeling smaller, that we don't allow ourselves to rise and shine and speak our light and speak our truth and be who we're born to be because we worry what people think. So we live in a different generation where whether you're burnt at the stake, whether you're worrying what people think, it's still keeping you stuck. It's still keeping you play small. It's still stopping you from moving forward out of fear, out of this nervous system feeling of it's not safe. So that's where I want to help you in my course, or what you can do, go through healers, through kinesiologists, through psychologists, energy healers, Reiki healers, whoever you need to, or just by writing in your journal or starting to have awareness and writing down your soul talents, irrespective of what people think, and knowing that you are in a time where you are safe to express them because nothing bad is going to happen to you. But the fear is worrying about putting ourselves out there, the fear of judgment, the fear of being our authentic self. So we hide ourselves amongst roles of safety, amongst roles of what's societally accepted as the norm, amongst doing what everybody else does. But when limiting our soul, we're hiding ourselves there. Just looking at this beautiful big eagle. We are like limiting our potential because we're hiding ourselves and keeping ourselves small out of worrying what people think, worrying about what we present to the world, worrying about all these external factors, which still comes up as not feeling safe in our nervous system. And that's what we have to feel into, the safety. And that's what I've had to work through, the safety in my nervous system about letting my real authentic self be seen into the world. And the more I put my real self out there, the more I have found people love me for me. I've attracted more things into my life. I've manifested more things because I am slowly and progressively, I'm still learning to be myself and be comfortable being myself. And this is what I want for you. So what I've shared might be really, there's another eagle, a bit left field, but that's okay. I'm comfortable in my own skin to share it and go, I can't control the visions. I can't control what's happened in my past life. I can't control what's happened previously in my younger years, but I have the ability right now to be aware and to have the courage to step into my authentic self right now and to own my soul talents right now and to move forward knowing that I'm safe to do so. And that is what I want for you. So don't be afraid to share your talents. Don't be afraid to own your talents, but start being aware of what they are. Also in here, it says, maybe you fear your spiritual talent will not allow you to meet your material needs, or that others will reject or deny your talent. You might fear what people think, what your parents think, what people around you think, even if you know it is authentic and helpful, okay? So you may feel, how am I going to make money doing what I'm meant to be doing? I don't have that answer for you. Maybe you might need to do what I've been doing, is you starting to branch out into that area while you're still making money doing what you're doing. It's like when people talk about having a side hustle or a side gig or just doing something because you enjoy it, but we still need to make money. So I'm not saying go and quit your job throw everything on the line, risk your families, putting food on the table to go and dive into your soul talent. I'm not telling you to do that, okay? What I am saying is explore that, but you may need to start off doing it by still earning money, by still putting food on the table, by still making ends meet. But open yourself up to there's more for you. What is that? While still working your job. And that is okay, my friends. Start going in the industry. Like I said to Brock, he's earning money doing some of this acting stuff at the moment, but he's still doing his apprenticeship. He's still working at the same time. So we may need to do both, and that is okay. And the more you follow your heart and soul and trust that the universe will provide you, guess what? Your side gig, your side hustle, your passion may turn into your money-making venture. It may bring in more money than you've ever had, or more abundance, or more opportunities, or more people than you've ever had in your life. But just open yourself up to explore it and not know all the answers, not know the how. Just follow the breadcrumbs, follow those hunches, follow the knowing, and journal everything that I've shared with you today, okay? Believe in yourself and your abilities, and that you have the capacity to use those talents in a constructive, healing way. Keep developing your talents until your unique expression comes to life. Don't give up in those early stages and possibly the awkward stages, dismissing your abilities as less than those of another. Trust that there's something very real and worthwhile in you. There have been times, let me tell you, I have thought to myself, this is so hard. It would be easier to get a job. I see friends earning a couple $100,000 a year in a job. Part of me sometimes has thought, oh my gosh, that would be so much easier because I'm not earning the money I want to earn yet. It is coming, and I feel in my soul it is coming. Do not give up. Keep pushing forward, even when it feels hard. Trust in yourself. Journal your vision of what you want. Keep coming back to what you want and what you're feeling into what your desires are, and trust that it will come to you. So don't give up. This oracle reminds you to do what makes you happy, to chase your sacred bliss and express yourself in the world via the unique and special abilities that the divine has bestowed upon you. When you follow what you love, you are on your life path. You shall succeed. And it speaks a little invocation or prayer here. I'm going to tell you this because you might want to pause and replay it and write it down. It says, all loving universe, teach me to realize and trust in my divinely given talents. I ask for your unconditionally loving assistance in releasing any block or obstacle to the full development and joyful expression of my spiritual gifts in the world. Help me find the courage and boldness within that I need to believe in myself and become completely empowered to make my loving contribution to the world through my own free will and divine merciful grace. So be it. Ask for support. Ask for guidance. And the last thing I want to leave you with, this book here, My Human Design by Jenna Zoe. I've been following her for a little while, and we each have our own unique human design. I know some people study different personality types, different, I can't remember what you call them, different, your type A, type B, all those different things. I've done a lot of these. This is honestly, my human design is the most powerful aligned typing, if you want to call it that, I've ever read and I've ever learnt about. And I'm not going to go into all this now, but I encourage you follow Jenna Zoe, Jenna with a Jenna, Zoe, Zoe, and get this book called Human Design. She speaks about, it's the revolutionary system that shows you who you came here to be. If you ever wanted to become your best self or live your dream life, you've probably looked to others for the answers. Anyway, it talks about like this human design system. It's basically like, it's your authentic road to success, to align with your true self. How I like to think of your human design is like, we've got our birth charts, we've got our zodiac signs, our horoscopes. This is like a soul blueprint. You have to put in your date of birth, your time of birth, your place of birth, and it's like it creates, this is an ancient system, and it's like it pinpoints that spark when you come into the world, all the planetary alignments and everything, your unique blueprint. There is pages and pages in here it prints out this chart, right? It talks about your type, it talks about your, how you are, like I'm a generator, which is one of my typing. I can't remember all of the different, it gives you a chart, right? And on your human design chart, it tells you your energy type, your strategy, your authority, your profile, your gifts. And It looks a bit of a jumbled mess when you print it out. You can print it out for free. I think it's myhumandesign.com. And then if you just understand the basic, like your strategy and your type, it will give you a blueprint to yourself, and it will help you uncover your soul talents and realize like there's nothing wrong with you. Like I said at the beginning, I thought, why can't I be such a planner? Why can't I organize everything and structure all of my social media for months in advance? I don't work like that. And when you understand how you work and you tune into your unique human design, your unique blueprint, it really helps you understand yourself on a much deeper level, your unique talents, your unique gifts, your unique soul blueprint, and how to work with you. And then you can go in and to learn it about your family and how we're all different and how you can work together, what your strengths are, what your perceived weaknesses are, what works for you. Like part of mine is a cave. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean, a cave? And it means, and now I get it, I'm a generator. I bring so much light into the world, but then I need to go to my cave. Hence why I moved out here. This is my cave. This is my sacred place. Or hence why sometimes I just need to turn off and not talk to people. I give so much. I need to go to my cave to like recharge my battery and so I'm not depleted. When I learned and understood that, I'm like, this is why I have those feelings of times when I give so much, then I'm like shut off, disconnected. I need to go home and recharge myself. Then I've got more to give. You understand how you work at a soul level. I highly recommend that. But let's wrap this up because I've been talking for a while. But you know what? Explore, just dive into the process of self-discovery, journal on some of those things that I've shared with you, and understand that you didn't come here just to get it done. We come here to learn. We come here to, there's like 30 pelicans flying overhead. They're literally just soaring in this beautiful big dance together. We are here uniquely to soar in our own way. We come together in this big flock. We come together with all these people around us. We come together in relationships. We get conditioned. We get brought up certain ways. When you tune into you, your authentic blueprint, your authentic self, I encourage you, go on the process of self-discovery, go on the process, the journey of learning more about yourself, and make it a lifelong journey, because you will soar, you will rise up, you will achieve your dreams, you will manifest what you want. You can have all of your heart and soul's desires, but just start now with the process of self-discovery and what lights you up, and follow your bliss, and it will lead you on the most amazing path. It will lead you to your most beautiful, divinely inspired visions and dreams that lie in your heart. Listen to your heart, my friends. Your heart will always steer you in the right direction and what aligns for you. When you get so connected to your authentic self, when you return to your authentic self, you can absolutely live the life that you dream of. I hope that helps, angels. Have a beautiful day. It's a Saturday. I'm about to go out for my walk, going to do a workout. I actually might just do some yoga here. I got my yoga mat on the jetty. And I'm sending you so much light and love, angels. And I will see you in the next episode. Mwah!